Yes, welcome back. Yes, Lucky.
Yeah. Well, you asked of the cost and why we have our cargoes going to...
Being diverted.
Yes.
Whereas this used to be the hub.
You see, our procedures are archaic. They contravene all the procedures, all the conventions. Because the essence of Kyoto Convention is to simplify, harmonize procedures. And Kyoto Convention are tools that are designed by WCU to really drive the process of clearance in international trade. And when you look at the FAL Convention is talking about the stay of ship and the stay of cargo, and to see how you can remove those things. And if you look at in every country in the world that is trying to look at port efficiency, you must look at that with three other components. One is you must know how to, your goods and your processes must be predictable. Two, your processes, apart from being predictable, must be consistent. Three, it must be transparent. In everything we do in this country, it's not predictable, it's not transparent, it is not consistent. If you look at our laws, the laws are not even advertised. If you look at our process, we don't comply with the laws. We impose processes. If you look at Nigeria, for instance, we lost our transit trade. Our transit trade is now being handled by Ghana. Ghana handles our transit trade, the one that's going to Chad and Niger. Why? Because of our procedures. We are still using manual. Why Ghana is operating on satellite, their tracking system, they track, their satellite tracking system, and they have e-bond. We don't have e-bond here. Our bond process are still manual. Our systems are we still have federal operations going with guns. Whereas in Ghana, they have the satellite tracking system.
You could say it's because Ghana is smaller.
No, so it's not small. It's a process. It's a procedure. These are procedures. That is that. Our transshipment is being shared with Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, and what they call this Benin Republic. Yes, he talked about some of these things. These things are, our draft level is not political. The problem is that we must address some of these issues that are critical. One is that your operational process. If you look at the terminal operators, for instance, lately they have problems of dollars and no dollars. In the real sense, in a good concession agreement, they're supposed to have been a proviso whereby they must be accommodated in that area. Because most of the problems that are caused by the law of business is caused by government. So governments will intervene in their own case and see how to address that issue. That is number one. That is number two. Number three, if you look at our process, the customs process, it says pre-arrival assessment report is a misnomer. When you say assessment, that means you have finished everything. The same assessment you are talking about is being stopped with one alert or the other alert in one area. So that assessment must be removed.
Okay,
completely.
We need to wind now. So let me just read out these responses because you need to respond to them. What you're talking about now, Bob T says, as long as there's no pre-shipment or destination inspection agency, Nigeria will continue to experience these challenges. That's Bob T is talking. But this one's particularly directed to what you said about Sun. Prince Edward says, SON has laboratories in Lagos, Enugu, Kaduna. Please take note that SON has a lot of standards for different goods. Does that answer your question?
I'm not talking about laboratory. Where is the research institute where they have to come up with what should come to Nigeria? It's not lab. Lab is if I have to pass it, I go and test and tell me the result. Research. What is some standard of cars that should enter Nigeria in terms of even the shock absorber and the rest? What is the standard? Because our shock absorber should be tropicalized. What is the standard in goods manufacture? It's not laboratory. They must have a Nigerian standard, even up to nuts and bolts.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Amirwere, it looks like the onus is now on you and your committee to make sure that these port reforms come to light and that our ports actually are reformed so that importers will pay less, the process will be less cumbersome, so the goods can easily come into the country, and goods of the quality that will not kill us. Thank you very much for coming, gentlemen. I'd like to thank Mr. Tunde Keshinro Lucky Amiewero, as well as engineer Najuno Obuago, for coming to discuss port reforms with us. It doesn't look like we made any progress, but at least we're talking about it, and we're hoping that things will happen in no time at all. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Sunrise will be right back with another interesting conversation. Please stay with us.